This is DDS, Detroit Raw.
The BMF character, Mickie, is based on a real-life individual named d.meeks, aka d.meeks. Meeks grew up with brothers Big Meech and Southwest T in Detroit, and when they went into the drug business, he joined them. He was one of the original members of their drug empire, but when they left Detroit, he stayed back and became his own boss. This is d.meeks, Detroit Raw.
Beef with Leighton.
Right.
Okay? Now, the 50 Boys inherited that beef. That was my beef. Because Leighton is fucking 5 years plus older than me. So that beef was already, I had that beef before the 50 Boys even started. What the fuck is a fucking 10, 15-year-old dude want to have beef with these young motherfuckers? The beef was with me.
d.meeks is a native of Detroit, like the Flannery brothers, and was also born around the same time as them. He was a childhood friend of theirs and started hanging out with them when he was just about 3 years old.
Seen him when he first came home, but it wasn't like it was supposed to be. I gave him a hug and all that, but he ended up calling me, and when he called me, where he told me to meet me at, I knew it was a safe haven, and we went, and it was like, I seen him yesterday. Remember, I hadn't seen him in 31 years, so me and my wife went, but me and Terry grew up since we were 3. So we ain't got no beef. We have disagreements and all that, but we always one phone call away from anything. But I got a problem with him. I got his number.
d.meeks and the Flannery brothers embarked on all manner of adventures together as teens. When the brothers started selling cocaine on the streets for 50 apiece in 1985, Meeks joined them. After some time, they became known as the 50 Boys and gradually expanded their empire.
I heard they was making a show on us, and I figured that that if they're gonna make a show on us, that we always about to get paid. Hey, this is my life and all that. And 50 Cent came out to my neighborhood, and I hadn't got no calls or none from nobody. And he came out to my neighborhood, and like I said, I'm kind of like a little legendary out there, and I got about 25 calls, and they said, well, they out here filming y'all life story. And I was like, yeah. And I called somebody, and they were like, yeah, y'all got a stories coming on Starz. I didn't know nothing about it.
The real-life Mickie was a pivotal part of the drug-dealing empire of the Flannery brothers. However, in the late 80s, the two brothers, Big Meech and Southwest T, decided to head out to Atlanta and set up a base there. d.meeks didn't fancy the idea of moving out there and informed the two friends that he would be staying back in Detroit.
Well, Leighton was the neighborhood kingpin at that time. He was running like E-Course. He was running an apartment across from the 12th Street Boys. And he was an older cat, and Leighton was a different type of guy. He was making money. He had a big rope, it was about this big, and it came all the way down to his waist. He would wear Adidas suits with gaiters, with finger waves. And he was getting paid, but he was a beast. He called himself the devil's son-in-law, and that's what he was.
He thus set up his own drug empire and spent the next 8 years running it. By his own accounts, d.meeks made as much as $1.2 million. He did not squander everything he made. He was smart enough to save money. And so when he was arrested by the cops, he had money to hire great lawyers. These lawyers were able to get him off on 4 occasions when he was charged in court.
Like I said, they were like party promoters and promoting stuff, and they all came back to society. From what I seen, they all were doing pretty good to me. I don't know what they were doing, which is not my business to say. I don't know what they could have been doing, but I know a couple of them have like car washes and all that, so they were doing pretty good. We hustlers. We can make, you go to jail, we ain't fall down and can't get back up. We get back up and get back up good.
However, in the early 90s, Meeks was charged with shooting a gun at a place. He was given 4 to 20 years in jail, but he appealed and was successful. He therefore only spent 2 years and 9 months in jail.
If you want to be a drug dealer, the drug dealer is the worst job in the world. See, what the drug dealers show you right now is, oh, I got all the women, the pretty women. Oh, you get the best women in the world. You get the best cars. You get the flyest suits and all that. But you don't see that guy that's laying in your garage at night, so who trying to wait on you. You don't see them trying to kidnap their family. You don't see people shooting at you. You don't see people trying, and they do anything, putting bombs under your car and all types of. You don't see that.
D.meeks got out of the drug business in 1995 and decided to focus on a legit hustle. Therefore, he had cut all ties with the drug business by the time Big Meech and his brother were arrested and charged in 2005. The two brothers got hefty jail terms, 30 years each, but D.meeks avoided such and was able to live a normal life. This is the story of the real Mickie, Detroit Raw, D.meeks.
Work construction when I got out of prison. And when I first got out of prison, it was hard because, they ain't want to, hire no fellas and all that. But I ended up going to a construction site, and I lied, and I ended up getting a job making $28 an hour. So I figured that, and then I was working all over Detroit and all that, so I was making good money. And then I didn't have that worry about if somebody, because at one point in my life, everywhere I had to go, I had to, if I went to the bathroom, I'd have a gun. If I went to a restaurant, I got to have a gun, or you got to have somebody, a bodyguard with, when I was in that life back then. This is the first time I walked down the street one day, and then, nobody never bothered me. I mean, it was just like the freshest feeling in the world. No stress.